Hi, and welcome to another Minisode of Founder Diaries. Thank you so much for sticking through with us. If you watched all of the ones up until this point, we drop a new episode. I think it's every 2 days. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, there's a new Minisode dropping. You can catch this on audio and visual platforms. Yes, please make sure you're subscribed. It just helps us with production and keeping this going for you. So on today's episode, I want to talk about why it's so easy to dream big, but it's actually hard to do. And it's a TikTok I came across, I think, a few months ago. And when we decided to not shoot the podcast, I was like, I really want to talk about this because then it helped me understand my mind and also why sometimes like you want to achieve something, but then the doing nishida. It's not because you're lazy, it's not because you lack motivation, but there's actually a science behind it. So it's easy to dream. It's easy to think about, I want to earn $1 million. I want to, have the jet, to have the nice car. And it's really easy to sit down and think, I want all of these things. And you can see yourself in the Louis Vuitton store. You can see yourself attaining all these things that you want. And not necessarily just from the material perspective, but maybe even what it might come with, maybe freedom of time. You can see yourself spending a Tuesday morning at your beach house with maybe your kids and your family, and you have achieved that freedom of time and space. But when it's time to actually do the thing, to start to change, to break a pattern, or to start a new habit, it feels like you're trying to move through mud. It feels really difficult. And so let's break down why the doing feels heavy, even when the vision is exciting, and how it comes down to one thing. Your nervous system is designed to crave the familiar and to make you want to stick to what it knows, as opposed to venturing what is not familiar. And it's a survival mechanism. So, the big problem is that your body is wired for safety and not success. Here's a truth that nobody talks about. You can want to change from a theory and a mental perspective. You can desire the success. You can visualize a dream life, but your nervous system, it cares about safety, what it knows and what it's familiar with. So even if the familiar is undercharging, overworking, procrastinating, staying small, avoiding risk, repeating the same routines, not delegating, playing it safe, and sabotaging. Your nervous system says, we've survived doing things like this. Why do we need to change? Let's stick to it. But you want to delegate, but you freeze. You want to raise your prices, but you feel guilty, or you feel like, who's going to keep coming to me if I do? You want to start doing the new thing, but you delay because what if people think I'm a joke? What if they think that this is actually not as great as I think it is? You want to show up consistently, but you don't feel ready. It's not a mindset issue, it's your nervous system. So, the viscosity of change, expanding yourself, feels like a threat. Change is inherently uncomfortable because your body experiences it as uncertainty and something new. And uncertainty could mean potential danger. So, even if positive change triggers, so that's why positive change might trigger procrastination, avoidance, overthinking, self sabotage, stress, random overwhelm by simple tasks. Have you ever wondered why starting a new habit feels like chewing glass, or starting something, even just if you tell yourself it's for 5 minutes or for 10 minutes, it feels so much harder than maybe scrolling on your phone for 3 hours. One thing takes more effort and more time, but that's the one that you end up doing probably most. It's because this new habit stretches your identity and ventures into the unknown. And that's what makes it feeling like you're moving through mud. It's not because you're lazy, it's not because you're unmotivated, it's definitely not because you can't do it. So here's why dreaming feels easy. Dreaming is safe because it's in your mind. You're still in control. You've not put it out there. Nobody else is judging the output of what you're thinking. And you've not taken action that requires exposure just yet. But the dream is pure potential, and that's why it feels really comfortable. But doing requires being seen, it requires risking failure, it requires risking criticism, it requires being mocked, it requires shifting identity, it requires holding discomfort and building muscle that you have never built before. Dreaming is dopamine, that's why it's fun to do, but doing is discipline. So, how do you actually start doing, and how do you try and beat our body the way it's being wired to try and achieve what we want? So, you want to learn to regulate your nervous system, to create safety around trying new things, and to teach your body that change is actually not a threat. So, here are some practical steps that could help you start. One, start ridiculously small. So, maybe you want to start a new course, or you want to go back for your master's. Start by just doing one thing, one small thing. Start with reading one page, or start with visiting the website of the school. Or if it's launching a new product, start by looking up maybe what my marketing strategy look like. The smaller the action and the smaller the of a threat it looks like, the easier it is that it's going to be to actually try and do this thing. Secondly, normalize discomfort. So trying to do more and more things where you're uncomfortable, so your body learns that it's not going to die when it's uncomfortable. So when you're trying all these other uncomfortable things, then you're going to feel okay. Some examples: going to a karaoke bar. Singing in front of people might make you want to cringe and shrivel up inside, but you won't die. So go ahead and do it. So you get really used to being uncomfortable. Take up public speaking, or give a speech at your family gathering, so that your body kind of starts to get comfortable with being uncomfortable or being in a space that it perceived as discomfort. Third, build safety rituals. Before you go ahead and do something that feels uncomfortable, take a deep breath, go for a walk, journal, or take 5 minutes of silence, or even listen to your favorite song. So your brain can start associating that with safety. Next, visualize the process, not just the outcome. So when you're dreaming about the weekend home in Kilifi, visualize what is the process that's going to take for me to get there. So you're not just dreaming about the good part, but you're actually looking at it from a full perspective. Fifth, regulate and then act. So don't wait to feel motivated. Get regulated and then do what you need to do. And then number 6, expect the dip. Every time you expand, there's a moment where your body is going to freak out. That doesn't mean stop. It means keep going. So not to expect the discomfort, oh my God, what am I doing? Let me delete the video. Not to expect that those thoughts are going to come, and maybe already even have a script of what to read yourself in that moment so that you don't freak out. So to finalize, it's not just about what your willpower and what you think you can be able to do. Also, we need to learn how our bodies work and how to align with that so that it helps us with our success. So I hope this has been helpful in seeing maybe why you've really been wanting to start something, but for some reason you just can't get started. And this can help you get started along that journey. So to recap, just the main pointers are: visualize the entire process, not just the end vision, but the full thing it's going to take, and then take really, really tiny steps, and even do what you need to do to regulate yourself before you take the action, and even write yourself a script or a little note to read after you've done the action, so you don't panic and undo the thing that you had wanted to do. I hope this has been helpful. Please share this with a friend. Make sure to subscribe to our platform, and see you on the next one. Bye. This podcast is proudly sponsored by Beauty Square KE. Beauty Square was my first full-blown business and the brand that pulled me into entrepreneurship and shaped so much of what I share here. In many ways, this podcast is an ode to that journey, the lessons, the growth, and the courage to start before everything was figured out. At Beauty Square, we're passionate about helping everyone become a skin expert, offering authentic products from TikTok favorites to proven solutions for acne, dark spots, and more, with a team ready to guide you through all the right choices. Visit us at our CBD or Lavington branches for expert treatments like facials, waxing, body scrubs, and massages from our sister brand Sage. Find us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at beautysquare.ke and at Sage Skin, spelled SAGESKNN, and thank you for tuning in.